Baby dolls, I am very conflicted with eHEX. It's very spooky. Why am I conflicted? It's because, do I trust the crowd or do I follow my nuts, my guts? And I'm talking about the eHEX to pHEX ratio now, because this is it right now. Before this capitulation, when eHEX was pHEX down here, I drew this. I literally drew the V bottom down. Now I said, hey, it can go here or here or here. But what I was saying was, I go, look, I think that ratio has to go there to entice people to buy eHEX again. But I did not know it would happen this way. I was guessing that as we rally, that this ratio goes down. Why? Because with BankX's wall, which is still sitting there, I thought as it goes up, it comes back down. Oh, we can't chew it. All right, we have to go back up. Let's try again. Back down like that. That's what I thought would happen, just naturally. But how would that wall get chewed? I told you it'd get chewed because pHEX was so high. Okay? So I'm playing the ratio. It's the same thing by playing. We're just watching it, right? I bought eHEX, just to let you know. Okay, now if we go back to the ratio, it's done the same chart pattern. But what happens next? Well, look, I'm going to just tell you something. The market liked it being here. It also liked being here, all right? It liked these two ratios. Let's take the middle, 0.56, 0.44. That's actually a 0.50 in the middle. Okay, it's actually a 0.50. Now, I'm not saying it goes here, but down here, man, in a period of time, I know, friends, this is trading, by the way. Yeah, it's ratio trading, but I'm not going to sit here, watch you guys paper hand the shit out of eHEX and not take the other side of these soy boy cucks. Go sweet, go buy the top of pHEX. I've told you, friends. Tell me a good reason why you should own pHEX long term now. You say, well, store of value. Wrong. Pulse versus Hex is going up against it. Okay. The T-shares are great. Okay. Richard Hart said the eHEX T-shares suck. How do you know he's not going to say something else that makes yours go down 10 to 20%? There's a lot of these uncertainties. And it's not me, friends. I know. They're just prices on a chart. It's not me you have to convince. I'm already in with you. You got to convince the people not in the ecosystem. Like that Martini guy who just bought eHEX right into the bank wall and dropped down. So I was wondering, friends, who the hell who was the first guy to buy into the BankX sell wall? Bank. And there he goes. It's that Martini guy. Oh, man, he bought into resistance. So you can see this big wall. That's why, friends, when I said the great chew, right? What I tell you, well, wait for it to go up and down and chew and down. And finally, we can get the very, very end of it, the last few million, and then we can zip up. But actually just rejected the first time. You know what we might find is maybe when it finally goes up again, it goes back up here, it can't chew it, and then it smacks again. Maybe you find something like that happens. You don't know. Or you might just be out of it by the time it actually occurs. So why I've made this video is to talk to you about this uncertainty, because I knew the ratio for me to be enticed. It's come here, but it's come here for a different reason. It's like, well, I thought everything's going to be rallying is the reason. No, it's everything dropping. That's the reason. What do you do now? Well, I think cheap is cheap, right? I still like it. And a lot of people saying, yeah, it's dead. It's dead. Good, man. Sell it. I don't really care. I'm just telling you, I'm like, that's it. I planned for this. Here it is. Here it is. I wasn't buying eHEX. See, I wasn't buying eHEX up here right into the wall, right? But bang. Now, interesting as well. Look at this, okay? It spanned many months down here and many months down here. Does that mean it spans many months here too? That's something to think about. So it's not an automatic you win heaps. However, though, I'm going to be completely honest. If eHEX pHEX makes it back to like 0.5, you might have to say, hey, I don't want to hold this anymore. Maybe. I'm telling you now, friends, everyone thinks they know something. You never know. What if this comes back here and surprises you by pHEX dumping at the end? That's possible. Very possible. Or, friends, you know those weak hands of eHEX? Where are they now? They're weak-handed people. They're now in pHEX. They're not going to hold that forever. They're so used to clicking an emergency and staking, they've taken a bite of the cherry. Wait till they see Pulse and Hex, Pulse versus Hex going up, which is PulseChain outperforming Hex. Wait till they see that. How do you know they're not going to emergency end stake pHEX? They will, by the way. They will, to go firm and buy the top of that ratio. Playing with these gets you into more trouble, okay, than help. But I like being down here. It's going to take weeks, man. Don't really care. Hey, if you guys want to send that down to 0, sweet, do it. Okay, I've bought riskier stuff. eHEX is now almost the size of ink, which is funny. Funny and strange. However, you know, thinking about all these, I didn't think it would come to this, but like it's very, very apparent now. And it's not even me talking, it's you guys talking. See, friends, Richard has now, once again, I don't critique the guy, okay? He made everything. Sweet, it is what he's just observing. But whether intentional, unintentional, what he's done is he's shot himself in the foot. And I know it sounds like, oh, there's 8-dimensional chess. No, what he's done is he thinks what he's saying is pHEX is valuable. He thinks he's just saying that. But actually what he said is the Hex brand T-shares, you're worth shit. Because this thing went down 70% and now everybody's migrating here. Like if you wanted to do a proper migration, why don't you use the origin address and do a one-for-one link? Why didn't you just build a bridge at the start that converts something and spits something out with a new contract? You could have done it 1,000 ways rather than let people speculate for a year so that you can find out, oh, I guess you guys prefer pHEX more. You see, that's why everyone's like, that's such a strange way to go about things. Unless it's not 8-dimensional chess, it's 9-dimensional chess. Maybe he just wants BankX to drop their wall down. I don't know. I don't know. All I can tell you is the price is cheap right now, but eHEX at $1 now. You see, a lot of these prices and things, now people are like laughing at the thought of doing these. See, friends, dopamine dealers just keep telling you everything's going up. You don't know. These are trades, though. Now you're a lottery meme coin ticket. You're basically, eHEX is now, at this price, leverage on pHEX. All right? Because the ratio is so low now down here. So you might find is as pHEX recovers, maybe this can go back up to here, the ratio. You never know. And then maybe BankX wall makes it come back down for a double bottom, and that's basically it. And then it's going to go up. You never know. Something like that might happen. Now, think about that Martini guy. Didn't bother bridging into PulseChain. Just bought eHEX. Just think about that. Think about everybody on the Ethereum network. They're like, I can't be bothered bridging in. It's there to think about. So, okay. There's a lot of opportunity, man. If this works out, that'd be great. Friends, look at this. If you buy, by the way, it was 0.16 making the video, all right? Well, a lot of people capitulating, all right? If you bought here 0.167, okay? If you go up and it goes back to 0.4, you are up 2.5x versus pHEX. So whatever pHEX does, you've done 2.5 times that more in the future if it goes back there. And that's not parity, that's 0.4. So these are ratio plays, but because they're weekly charts, you can accumulate more longer. So I'm going to draw a plan now here for you just to show. I mean, it's funny. It's outside of my box here. That's bang. So the two things can happen, right? A few things can happen. This can go down even more. All right. It can go down to 0.1. 0. Wow, 10 to 1. It can go down to 0.1. Sweet. I'll just buy more. I'll just keep buying. I don't really care, friends. Look at this. Oh, he's all set. Look at the coffin emoji. Look, you give me the coffin emoji again. Saying, eHEX is dead. All right, sweet. Whatever. I buy coffin emojis. I know at some point there's going to be a retaliation. I just don't know how high. I don't know when. It is what it is. Okay, just remember, man. Just remember. Everyone said eHEX was going to 0. And look what it did from the very, very, very bottom here. It did a 159% move up against pHEX. Maybe that happens again, man. 159%. Let's actually draw it from that very, very bottom. Brings it up to 0.41. So, yeah, I've also mentioned in my videos, this is just for me in onboarding. Ain't no way I'm telling him to touch pHEX now. No way. Why bother? Why bother? You want to take that risk? You really want to take that risk? Now you got all these weak hands in you and stuff. You can't. You can't. You can't look at this information and go, well, that's fine. One guy, Richard, says that pHEX is the real hex. Friends, 200,000 people saying pHEX is the real hex, when 30 million people are saying eHEX is the real hex. They're all the haters, by the way. Okay, they're the louder voice. So think about these conflicting messages. I just think it's easier just to be in Pulse and PulseX. I like PulseX as the auto buy and burn. That's sweet, even though it drags everything up, but buy and burn. And PulseChain, you know, is just cheaper Ethereum. Sweet, like people understand layer 1 coin stuff. What's Hex then? Like store of value, long-term savings account. Do you really want to tell people with a straight face now after seeing everything? It's a long-term savings account, but it can drop 70% in a day. and it can be thrown out by the founder, and there's all these other weird things happening with it, and it's still down 95% after 3 years. That's combined hex. So friends, remember, with me, I'm fine, man. Friends, I'm taking the other side of this. You can't be more bullish than me. Okay, I'm very, very bullish. Sweet. Weak hands are out. Woo! Get out. Get out, weak hands. That's what I want. That's what I do. I buy capitulation. I buy blood. However, this is combined hex, friends. By the way, combined hex is now selling off again after Richard Hart's tweet. So just think about this. Richard tweeting, combined hex is down 18%. Just think about that. So whatever he's done has been a net sell. A net exit. He's saying, pHEX, you're the real thing. And everyone's like, I'm exiting. I don't like it at all. It's people's interpretations of the short-term stuff, friends. It's not, it is what it is, okay? But I want to show you as well, looking at this combined hex price, all right, down here, you're still, look, it's a DeFi altcoin. That's what it is. It's a DeFi altcoin. That's what hex is. You're earning yield. But unfortunately, it's the same category as Olympus, DAO, and Luna. Yes, they do have communities, but it's basically you're in this thing just to earn yield. And then the yield reflexively goes down. Okay, now what? What's left? You're like, well, I was here for the yield. Well, you got no purchasing power of the yield. And people can like gaslight everyone and say, oh, but you're earning the hex tokens. Yes. People aren't stupid, man, but I can't trade it. I trade it for much less than what I had if I just didn't do this in the first place. You can't. People aren't stupid. But with Pulse and PulseX, the utility is known in everyone now. All layer 1 chains. I understand Ethereum. Yes, this is a cheaper Ethereum, cheaper gas fees. PulseX. Oh, wow, I'm owning the casino. What's Hex? Ask that, what's Hex? It seems Hex is now like a trading vehicle now. Seems like. It seems like, well, you know, I was going to buy eHEX if we chewed most of the wall to smack it up, but now they just capitulate down. Now I'm using pHEX basically just as my magnet of how low eHEX can be, but, you know, don't follow me into any of this. I'm not doing this specifically, but I'm just telling you, like, I would feel comfortable if someone says, like, hey, I've got 10 grand. How do I split it? I'm like, oh, well, maybe 95% do like Pulse and PulseX, and the last 5% throw a lottery ticket into pHEX, into eHEX here, eHEX. So you just have Pulse and PulseX, and then meme coin lottery ticket eHEX until it just flips somewhere and does something. That's kind of how I'm reading it. It kind of makes you realize, oh, pHEX just a middle child. You're earning this yield and stuff. But yeah, friends, look, yeah. This is just, you got to interpret these over time. I know, remember, crypto's risky. Things go up. Remember, I know a lot of people also mentioning as well, you're right. I said, hey, the bull market. And everyone's like, bro, the bull market's here. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, actually. You're right. I'm just saying that just to keep everyone optimistic. But yes, the bull market is here. AI coins ripping up higher. Meme coins ripping up higher. All these things really cranking it up. Okay, we've seen a lot of that happening. But yeah, at the end of the day, you're just going to have to wait and see, you know, where Ethereum reprices, how Pulse and PulseX go. But I've already given you the hints, friends. I've shown you so many times, like, the market, not me, has been choosing Pulse over Hex. It's been choosing it. All right. You see this? We went risk off now. So when we like lose people, the ratio went down here. When we gain people, the ratio goes up. So I want you to think in the next year, do you think we're going to gain people or lose people? Because it gained people, we went up here. Do you think we're going to gain or lose again? So that's basically what you think about. I have my targets up here. This is pretty much, look at this, it's just that nice wick as well. Remember, friends, I told you there's going to be some sort of wick down right until 21 EMA. Even though I'm not a trader, I'm not showing you the trade, but I'm just showing you weekly charts. You get back that pullback into 21 EMA, ignore the news. Sweet. So what would I do? Well, the ratios, well, man, this is crazy. Pulse is now up 34% against pHEX, showing that move right here. That's actually this move. So I don't know, man. Maybe these things come around here and it's grinding along this 21 EMA. That's what I will do. Just, you want to just think about your conviction in stuff, friends. Look, they're all liquidity bonded. They're all spiritually bonded. You're fine. It's just, don't worry about me, man. I just don't want you guys to wake up, have diarrhea one day and just capitulate out. But you know what's going to keep you to hold longer. You know PulseChain is cheaper Ethereum. In fact, Richard's bullish on Ethereum. He likes Ethereum over PulseChain. Sorry, Ethereum over Bitcoin. So spiritually, he's telling you, oh, I guess that means logically I like PulseChain over Hex. He'll never say that though. No way. because he's like, well, he's already shot himself in the foot with eHEX. He's going to shoot himself in the foot with pHEX too. I know, friends. I know. I wish I had more certainty. I wish everything just went up and everything. Wish it did. Wish it did. I wish, or you go back in time. Why didn't you just do a conversion and make everything 1-to-1 if you really wanted the market to do that? But, or it could just be 9 or 10 dimensional chess, friends. We're going to the 11th dimension. I'm wearing a bull hat, by the way. Moo. Okay, so that's your conviction to hold. What about PulseX? Remember, friends, don't listen to Brandon. There is a use case. Shout out to Brandon, by the way. Both Brandons. I love Ragsy. I love also Brandon. Brandon B. Friends, PulseX has a use case. It's real utility. Everybody punting on the chain, the yield goes into buying the coin, the buy and burn tax. Okay, it's get auto buy pressure. With Hex, how does it go up? You got to onboard people and tell them it's cool. Okay, but it's not cool anymore. With PulseX, you don't have to think it's cool. People on the city who are playing other coins, they are automatically buying it. Haters are buying up PulseX. I like that. Do you like that? And it's a cycle 1 coin. Isn't that new, fresh, sexy? You know what I mean? All the glitter and the sparkles and the fairies. See that shiny, new, polished. That's beautiful. So you understand Pulse and PulseX, but now you got to think, okay, what do I want with Hex? Now, friends, after hearing all these, please don't emergency end anything. Don't do anything like that. I'm just telling you, what would I do? Okay, if let's say you had pHEX and eHEX. eHEX is down here. I'm telling you, I've bought more. I have bought. Yes. With the pHEX, though, I mean, literally in the past few hours, the market, friends, it was down here. I was tweeting about it. It was literally down here at the bottom, and I literally made the tweet. I said, hey, if you are holding pHEX and you want to rotate back into my cheap price zone, the market's giving you a free pass right here. Everybody thinks pHEX is the future, but I don't think so. Bang, maybe Pulse is the future. And it actually smacked up right there. So congratulations to the people who took advantage of that. I know these things move us, so you're going to just have to decide for yourself. Look, can't go wrong getting everything, but now you know, man, friends. That's why I'm participating. Paid Launchpad, VVV Launchpad, meme coins, lottery ticket altcoins. I'm not, no. Don't let anyone gaslight you into thinking, oh, you got to stick to one thing and do that. No, look what happened. Look what happened. So now, unfortunately, now people in the temple who have to defend the temple, now they probably have to spin up their narratives and say, no, 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 no. Richard said that pHEX is the real hex now. Forget that other thing. Forget everything I said in the past, even though he did say he wants to see hex valuable on both chains and that all these other things, and there was a liquidity bonding and stuff. No, 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 no. So think about that, friends. Also, he changed his mind. Why provide an eHEX liquidity pool on PulseX and then rug it and now rug everything? You see that people are wrestling with this, but luckily for you, as your friend, I cut all the BS in the stories. I go straight to the charts. That's why I tell you, friends, relative value. All right? Relative value. That's ratios. I want to know, what's the market saying for this? I'm describing this story for you. I go, you know, pHEX, eHEX, doesn't really matter. Pulse versus Hex is going up. That story, that's easy for me. I love telling people, friends, Pulse and PulseX, that's it. Right? Layer 1 chain and the DEX. See you later. It's easy, and I know they like eating it up more. It's so easy to digest rather than, well, you've got this thing that kind of people migrated to, and it's a store of value, but it's still down 95%, and we're all dreaming it goes to $1. I hope it goes to $1, by the way. It's still long, leverage long, you know, so just trying to figure stuff out. But at this point, you can basically, I know what you're feeling. You're feeling like exhausted by the whole, well, how much time and attention can I really put to this extra? That's why, friends, I told you as soon as 2024 started, you've had 2 years to accumulate. 2 years. It's just that this is such a big capitulation. It's pretty nice and juicy, right? For eHEX. You had 2 years to accumulate. Doesn't make sense to keep throwing it in more. Like it is. It's either going to succeed or it's not. Wherever its market cap is going to sit is where it goes. That's why participate in these other cycle 1 coins, cycle 1 narratives, right? I'm going to keep working for you over time. Remember, no mastermind classes. None of these other big grifts that all these other scammers and grifters are doing. Absolutely none, friends. Straight from the heart. Okay, don't listen to all the other soy boys who are like whinging about this red candle stuff, okay? You got me as your friend. Like, subscribe, bell button, all. Catch you soon.